Hey guys, and welcome back. So let's get started. What I wanted to talk about in this video is the content of the workshop, and we're going to dive deeper into the visual and storytelling. So the effects, or the majority of the effects that we're going to be creating, are this and or similar to this. And what we have here is a three styles or three variation of explosions. And the first one is inspired from the work of Weta that they did on the Avengers, and I'm going to show the real reference, and we're going to take a look at that in more details later. And then these are individual explosions. This could be a mid-scale explosion and or a large-scale explosion, depending on how you wanted to tweak it. It also contains multiple impacts, multiple sourcing, and we're going to implement a lot of techniques to add details. The last one, the big one, is the nuclear explosion, and this one is combined of multiple elements, not just the core explosion, and we're going to focus a lot on building the visual, because the explosion by itself is only a portion of the screen, is only a portion of the effects, but getting all of that to look similar to what ILM did in Star Wars is going to be the real challenge, to getting that same look, which involves a lot of artists combined. So when we see something in movies, it's not necessarily, or it's not guaranteed. When we see something in movies, it's not guaranteed that when we see something in movies, we generally assume that it's an effects work, or when we see an effects shot, we just assume that the effects person or the effects team did that. It's not true. It's actually far from true. What the effects artist did is they created the actual simulation and or the destruction. In many cases, the effects team also does the rendering, but there's a lot of iteration over that, and they work in collaboration with the lighting team as well as the compositing and the supervisor. So for example, in a shot like this, in the nuclear explosion shot, what happens is they start with concept. They have an artist who is probably a senior or a lead artist with 10 to 15 years of experience, who will start doing visual research. With these visual research, they will narrow down the how the explosion is going to look like, how big it is in the frame, how the contrast, the colors, all of these things, they can be quickly iterated on by a concept artist. This part I personally don't have. I don't have a concept artist. I'm not a concept artist. So I'm going to do all of this research in Houdini and or in Nuke on top of my renders. The other thing is, this concept artist is not working, or she's not working by herself or by himself. They're working with another team who will give them feedback. So it would be the director or the supervisor. So there's a lot of art research that happened before getting that awesome explosion or the wow effect. Then we have the cinematographer, we have the compositing guys, we have the sound effects, we have all these elements that gets poured into one shot or one sequence, and then that all of that combined gives the final result and the wow effect. The effects person only did one portion, but in this case, because I have and my team has a variety of experience, a vast experience, and we've done compositing, we've done lighting, we've done everything, we were able to basically replicate everything that ILM team was able to achieve, and we're going to share everything with you guys. So when we see an explosion, when we see an effects shot, please account that there is a lot of work that went into creating that, and creating the visual, and creating the camera, and creating the story. All of it combined creates the wow effect, and the explosion is generally one part of the shot. Okay, so that's something I wanted to talk about. Okay, so now I wanted to talk about this shot, and then the nuclear explosion, which we'll do in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.